So other than the engine bits and pieces down there, fuel filler cap is just here on the off side at the back. Locate them back together and then turn it around to the right. There will be a little locking key on the keys for that. This vent just here is for the gas flame on your fridge. Obviously there's no bonnet release at the front because the engine's at the back. But yeah, so other than that, on the inside we've got your sink, which is just a cold water sink only. The water tank for that is inside this cupboard just here. So you do literally just fill that up whenever it comes to, you know, getting low. There is a button up on the control panel over here for the pump, and so that's that one. And once you turn that on, the tap works and the pump turns itself on when you turn it on. So that's that. You can literally just leave that on whenever you want to use it. The gas bottle sits down here in this lower cupboard, and to actually turn it on, you've got a little dial at the top. Anti-clockwise round to the left turns the bottle on, and clockwise round to the right turns the bottle off. That is all you need to know. Make sure that you switch that off before you start driving. And you have got this little cover here that goes on top in there. Nice heavy bit of wood, so it's not going to go anywhere. Keep it nice and secure. Once the bottle's on, you can then go ahead and use any of your burners up here. And you can see there, all I did to actually turn that on is turn this round and pushed it in, and then press the little piezo igniter. You can press it as many times as you like, just as many times as it takes to actually light that up. Turn it off, just like that, nice and easy. The fridge is 12 volt and gas as well. I think so 12 volt and gas. So if you have a little look in that little peep hole down there on the right, you can see a nice little blue gas flame. All you have to do to get that to work, I'm going to turn it off. So you can see at the moment I've got this turning towards the 2 and the ignition switch is on. So the igniter isn't actually working, which means that the flame is lit up. If I turn the flame off, we watch the igniter. When I turn the power switch on, so the very left hand switch there is for the fridge, and you can see there straight away the ignition switch is now flashing at me. So turn that off, that's the fridge on gas completely off. All I have to do to get it to light up is turn the ignition switch on, push in and round to the left, the ignition stops and the flame's back in there. You can just hold on to that for a few seconds, let go of it, and as long as that ignition stays off with the switch on, you know that the gas is on, and also you can see the flame inside the little peephole. So that's how you turn it on gas. And you've got your little dial down the back there to turn it on the 12 volt. So at the top here, I can feel it already starting to get cold. And that's it. So you need to make sure that you switch that off before you start driving. Just like that. And for the moment, I'm going to turn that off as well because I don't actually need it on for the moment. So that's your fridge. There is a little lock button up there for that if you want to use it. Don't have to. Up for now. Okay, so I've shown you your tap, I've shown you your cooker. So for the moment, I'm going to turn your gas bottle off because I don't need it on anymore. There is a dropout hole down there, as you can see. So if there was a gas leak from that bottle, the gas would drain out underneath the vehicle. Put that cover back on. Close this up. So the actual control panel itself is really simple. This switch on the very left hand side, like I said a minute ago, is to turn the ignition on for your fridge. You've then got the on and off switch for your fresh water, your pump. This one here is the switch so that, you know, when I had it on the dial in there, you need to have this one in the middle on to get that to work. Lights, obviously just turns on your lights, and spotlight there, it's just another button for another, so it's got other lights basically. So these two are here for your lights, fridge, pump, fridge ignition. You've also got some USB sockets and a 12 volt socket there. So all of this runs directly from the leisure battery in the back next to the engine, like I showed you. You've got some silver screens and a hookup cable in there. We don't test the hookups before we leave them in, because it would take us hours to actually do that properly. So you can use that if you like, but we haven't tested it, just so that you know that. You've got some extra storage up in here. And obviously I've got the roof up at the moment, so it's a side elevating roof. Works really, really well. All you have to do to actually get it to open up is physically lift it, obviously, and then you've got these little bars that hook in just here to hold it upright. These two here. The slats for the bed do literally just pull forward and make up if you want to. But otherwise you can leave them all up here and then leave it up as sort of headroom for walking around in the vehicle. The original side window is here, so if you want to use that, you can do. I'm not sure exactly how it works, to be honest with you, but I'm sure it does. But there you go. So I think really that's about it for the inside of the vehicle. I mean, I don't know if there's a huge amount else to show you. I've shown you the fridge, the sink, the cooker. Yeah, the main thing is really just make sure you turn your gas off before you start driving. It's really important that you do that. If you were in an accident, you know, obviously we don't want that to happen, but if you were, then if you leave the gas on, you've got pressurized gas at all the points, and that's the last thing that you want. So other than that, I mean, it is an older vehicle, it's an air-cooled engine, so, you know, sitting around in too much traffic sometimes, you know, you might get a little bit of the engine might get a little bit warm. It shouldn't overheat because they're obviously made to do that, but you know, expect a couple of little bits and pieces. It's 1976, so that's what, 56 years old, I think, or 46. I can't work it out, but you know, it's getting on a bit now, and oh, so it's 46 actually, isn't it? But yeah, generally speaking, it's in really good nick, and we've done our full habitation check on the vehicle, and you know, we're happy that everything's safe and works properly. But if there's anything you think, you know, I've missed out, or anything you want going through again, just let us know. But otherwise, we look forward to seeing you soon. Collect your van. Thanks very much.